Hey, this is Sri Vishwanath here, and welcome to episode number 25 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath Vedanta Show. And today's episode, we're going to talk about how to act with confidence even when you are demotivated. And today's question comes from Liz, and she says, I'm afraid to use my voice in the world. I want to write a book. Every time I sit down to write, a voice tells me no one is going to listen to me. And so I feel demotivated. Health. So I see the first sentence she wrote, I am afraid to use my voice. Now I is the voice of God. It is the chit. I can never be afraid because I is independent. So when this feeling, I am afraid comes, something is added to I. So it's a very subtle thing, and I wanted to seed that in you. That the sentence "I'm afraid," because through the very sentences that you write or you say, I can never be afraid. I can never be happy. I can never be sad. I has got an independent existence. It is chit. So when I is afraid, something is added to it. That is called false visualization, avidya. It's like a rope, and the rope starts moving. Now, this is so powerful because before you get an emotion like, oh, I'm afraid, I am sad, I am demotivated, whatever you say before that emotion comes, something is added to it. And that is happens in the causal body, the three bodies, causal, subtle, and gross. You get your emotion in the subtle body, but this addition of false visualization happens in the causal body. And so it's a very subtle thing. And you can go to www.magicofgod.com to save 3 decades and to know this in more detail because it's very subtle. But I want to make it very simple for you. Your emotions come in the subtle body, mind, intellect, memory. And the false visualization gets added in the causal body. So when you see this, something magical happens because you'll be able to, tremendous power will come to you. Now, yes, I want to share with you a secret of prana. Now, people say, oh, prana, and they spend so much time increasing prana, decreasing prana, doing all that fancy stuff. I'm going to tell you something very powerful about prana, which can help you in this situation. Now, prana means anything that moves. So this false visualization, the causal body, starts moving. So I plus false visualization can become angry. Did you get that? So this false visualization starts moving. How? So let's say you're thinking. Then I plus false visualization starts moving. How? Because of prana. Wherever the false visualization is present, prana is also present. Prana is the force, false visualization is the matter. So if you get a thought, false visualization is present, prana will also be present there. If you're feeling, if you're emotional, thought, feeling, you get an experience. Wherever there is false visualization, prana will also be present. It's moving. And here's the truth, here's the secret. One gets fooled by all these things like thought, feeling. There is nothing like thought, nothing like feeling, nothing like experience. There are only two things, false visualization and prana. That's all in the whole thing. And that's the study required. So here's the secret. This starts moving, prana, okay? So if you look at it in our waking state, anything that moves, right? We say it's real. Like that's why, like my hand is moving. If a person is like dead, nothing is moving there, right? No breathing, nothing. Otherwise, everything is moving. Breathing, hand is moving, eyes are moving, sound is moving. So this movement is because of prana, and what moves with it is the false visualization, but we wrongly call it thought, feeling, experience. So there's something interesting here. When you go to deep sleep, the prana goes because the false visualization disappears and the prana is then silent and you attain bliss. See, you have eyes, but you cannot see in deep sleep. You have ears, but you cannot listen. You have tongue, but you cannot taste. You have a nose, but you cannot smell. Why? Because the false visualization disappears, and with that the prana also disappears. You see, when prana disappears, there will not be movement. All these emotions which are coming, like, oh, I am afraid to use my voice, I want to write a book, all these thoughts, feelings, they are moving, and you feel it real. It's not real. The prana is moving because the false visualization. The moment the false visualization disappears in deep sleep, the prana also disappears. And so in deep sleep, you get bliss. So the secret here is to navigate prana, not through some meditation or some weird mystical thing. Very simple thing. When you feel demotivated and all these thoughts, feeling, experience are coming, realize all this is a drama. Prana is moving. Prana is detached. It is impartial. The false visualization is present wherever it's there. These two are moving. The prana is moving and false visualization is there. So when you go to deep sleep, what you should do is you should navigate to deep sleep. That's the whole secret. The greatest skill in the world is to move from subtle body to causal body in the waking state. It is the greatest of the greatest of the greatest skill. All the great ones were able to do that. It's a shortcut. If you can move in the waking state from subtle body to causal body, you're basically moved prana back to its place. There'll be no changes. The false visualization go away, you'll get bliss. And when you come out from that, you'll be able to manifest, act with confidence because the false visualization goes away. And so for this, one of the most, and you can go to www.magicofgod.com to get more detail. But the simplest thing to get used to doing all that thing is that to develop love for God. See, these are so subtle. Shankaracharya says, Sri Ram, you should start singing songs. You see, when Ram's song is sung, Hanuman is present. And it is, Shankaracharya says, Hanuman, like suppose 100,000 people pray to Ram. At the same time, Hanuman takes 1,000 bodies because the jiva can take 1,000 bodies. Like we too in our dream, we take two bodies, one sleeping and the one. It's a very subtle secret which I'll cover later. But develop love for God. When you pray to Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram Chandra Kripalu Bhajamana. It's a direct communication with God. Hanuman is present when you pray to Ram. Now Hanuman is present and Shankaracharya says he starts crying because he's so. See, you have to realize these are all subtle things. What you're doing here is you are getting, you're going to get help from Ishvara. From Hanuman is present sits near you. That's why in most of the places where Ram's story is told, a separate seat is kept for Hanuman. Now, the reason why you need all this is because I can put all the best philosophy and all these things in your head, but it will not enter. Why is all this not entering into people's head? Because there is no love for God. See, to act with confidence is a child's play. You go to deep sleep, you get bliss, you're going to act with confidence. All these things, prana is moving because the false visualization. But the reason it doesn't enter into the head is because the love for God is absent. That is the key. So you should develop love. Start singing song. Don't worry about the tune and this. Just sing because it's a connection with God. Directly pray to God. Pray. Pray. Worship. Because it is a gift to act with confidence. Acting with confidence is not an effort. It's a gift. If you take prana to deep sleep, it's full of bliss. Again, you come back, you can act with confidence. Prana is your servant. When the prana enters into a body through the feet, through the toe, it's a servant, and the Atman enters from the ear. It's a servant. It will obey what you say. If you say go to deep sleep, go to causal body, it will go to causal body. Oh, sitting and meditating, saying light should come, you're throwing it. People are, these are direct ways. So when you develop love for God, you can navigate prana back to deep sleep because it's moving everything. Anything that moves, we think it's real. See, when you go to deep sleep, the eyes are there, but it doesn't move. It's full of bliss. This is complete delusion. This moment is happening because of prana and because of the existence of false visualization. The moment you go to deep sleep, it's gone. Worship, love. Because when you love God, you love the I. It goes back to the chit. It is a gift to act with confidence, and to act with confidence is never taken away from you. You never lose the ability to act with confidence, even when you are demotivated. And I want you to do that right now. And you can go to www.magicofgod.com to save 3 decades and to act with confidence. More of it in the next class. Thank you and God bless.